So today finds us back in the peaks. In fact, we've parked in exactly the same spot as we did when we did the carpark camp. Slightly different destination. I'm heading in the opposite direction and we're going to the end of Stanage Edge, and we hope to camp, or I hope to camp, at Cowper Stone. Weather's turned out lovely again. It's well, typical randomly varying forecast. It's supposed to be clearing. It did show signs of clearing, so I had a quick break in Haversige, had a lovely coffee and a tuna melt, but it's not cleared of course, so away we go. We're got the right gear, so I'll get back to you later. Cowper Stone is just coming into view, if you can see that through the oncoming clag. Wind's blowing this way, so hopefully I can stick the tent right underneath it.
This was the first thing I wanted to find when I came to Stanage Edge. We came here a few weeks ago, my wife and I, and I was expecting to find dozens of these stones, of the Millstones, and couldn't find any. Actually, we were stood at the trig point straight above this. If we'd have gone to the edge and looked over, we'd have seen these. The big shock I got was when I actually went up to them and saw how big they are. They are huge. Some millstones in the Peak District are bigger than this. They weigh up to 3 tons and they can be up to 6 foot in diameter. There are 4 matched pairs here, which is so 8 stones in total. The stones were made in pairs and they're left in a group here, not abandoned. The mason that made these would have put them in this place as an asset that he owns, and they would have been possibly bought and sold by other people before it got to the distributor and the person that was going to actually take it to where they were actually going to be used as millstones. But then the bottom fell out of the market, so they were abandoned. Some other stones you come across have got damage to them, or they've cracked as they've done them. And they are still marketable, but not as much. Some would rather have a perfect stone. Anyway, there's a trig point above here.
That was a roundabout route back to the camera. Stones are quite spaces around them, and I'm just not trusting my foot quite enough, so just took a steady, nice, easy route round. Right, so this is obviously Stanage Edge, Stone Edge. We're right at the end of the Stone Edge here. Just looking further on, it bends back on itself. We're going to go right to the very end of it to tonight's camp spot. So I'll see you there. Yeah. Au revoir. Water, the softest and hardest substance. So, the Cowper Stone, designated by Derbyshire Council as a rock shelter. There have been flint shards found underneath this, going back possibly 10,000 years. So the place has got some history. Cowper Stone, who knows what its meaning is. Some people say that Cowper was a landowner that this stone was named after. Well, there doesn't seem to be any documentary evidence to support the fact that there was a landowner called Cowper in this area. Cowper means tradesman, possibly, or it could be a corruption of Cooper. But quite why there be a barrel maker here, I don't know, but certainly Cowper for a tradesman. You can imagine them doing deals at the big stone at the end of Stanage Edge. I can see kind of a reason for that. Just while I'm stood here, it's dripping quite a lot, which so as a shelter, you're going to get wet if you sit underneath there and you haven't got shelter. So I'll have to have a look round for a pitch for my tent. I've also got to go down to the brook, just down there. Well, solved the issue with the 60/70 litre backpack, and that was quite an easy solution. Use an 85 litre one. The Nepal 85 easily fits the kit in it, and some more if I needed it to. The great thing about this is that you're not squashing your kit in. Kit weighs the same. There's not a right lot of difference in the weight of the bags, so it's all sorted and fitted on this. And I think it's starting to rain again, which is annoying because I was just about to get the drone out. The Ballo has those wonderful large pockets on the hip belt. Well, I've got a couple of little bags off Amazon for not a lot of money, which 2 different ones, and my drone easily fits in those, plus a little bit of spare space. I've just strapped them on, and I've put a clip to hold it actually on the hip belt back at the towards the bag. Works very well. I think that'll be okay. Getting dripped on, but I'm well sheltered. Unless the wind hits me straight on, I'm going to be okay. Messed around a bit putting it up. I was concerned about the drops getting down. What I should have done is pegged the inner down first and then done it like you're supposed to do, but I'm in no hurry. You just bootled it up. Just going to get a guy and peg that trekking pole out. I've got a couple of tarp clips with elastics on, which I might deploy. I've done a couple at the back, but we'll see. So here's what we've got in the OBX Flappoon tonight. Silver mat, Z-Light, Thermarest Pro Light, OEX Bush Pro Bivy, whatever it is, 400, sleeping mat, night clothes in that bag there, tonight's food, milk, breakfast, essential beers, and time to get a brew on. Hello, Duncan. How are you? Smashing. Nice to see you in the Peak District again. Yeah, we're at Cowper Stone. I know, we do pick funny names for them, don't we? Don't know. Nobody knows why it's called that. No. Lots of people have theories, but no one knows. It's beautiful. It's always beautiful, isn't it? Yeah, the weather's really good. Forecast was all bonkers again. It said it was going to rain, then not rain, then snow, then be very cold, then windy. I think it is windy, but we're resting in the behind this big stone. Yeah. Okay. All right. You take care of yourself then. Don't go too far. We have rather a special beer review tonight. This is the NB X Distant Lands Limited Connectivity. Don't know where to get that name from, but the description got me. Imperial Fudge Stout with bourbon soaked Madagascan and Ugandan vanilla. Whew. That's just got to be good, hasn't it? It's only a tiny one, but it's 11.3%. Got this from a smashing shop in Hebden Bridge. I'll put a picture of it on there. It wasn't cheap. It's a very strong alcohol content, and it's an import because all those things go against it. So cost an absolute arm and a leg, but good grief, that's good. Yeah. Wonderful. That is spot on. Oh. Hello, Mr. Grouse. Overlooking a grouse moor, and I can hear. I've heard a couple quite close. I think there's a brook runs down the bottom of here where I got my water from, and I think they're probably just getting some water from down themselves. But pie, that's good. Ooh. Don't know if you can see. Starting to get steam off my breath. Temperature's definitely dropping. Yeah. Gonna be getting my gear on soon. What's the time at the moment? So 5 past. We've got about 15 minutes of until sunset. 5:05, so I think we're on about 5:15, 5:20. So it's going to start getting dark now. Listen. Can you hear that sound? It's silence, but it's not. Listen carefully. You can hear the earth. You can sense everything around you. This is magic. Right guys, so this is the Rakoon test. Can you see my tent just there? How about now? So I've got rid of the luminous strips. You can see a couple of bits I've missed. I did have another go at spray painting it, but it didn't work. So I just got some green gaffer tape and just gaffered over it, and it's worked brill. Of course, you've got to be careful, because that guy line there will send you flying. Well, that's just common sense, isn't it? Other mods I've made, I got rid of the little loops I'd put onto the guys after seeing quite a good tip online, which I'll post a link to in the description, which is a much better way of doing it. The Rakoon, or the OX Flappoon I should call it, with these huge doors, I can't work out what to do with them. I've got a trek pole with a guy, which has kind of worked, but it's not right. Please, if you've got any solutions to that, let me know, because it's spoiling this tent. That could be a deal breaker for me. That could be the reason why I get another tent. At the moment, I'm very happy with the Rakoon, apart from that flap thing. The weight's okay, not the lightest, but it'll do. Size is wonderful. It's easy to pitch. It's good in the kind of winds I go out in. But those flaps, nah. Just starting to rain again, which is a shame. It was looking like quite a nice night. Took a bit of a time lapse as it came dark. Water system's gone a bit wrong. I've got these flexible rubber bottles, which I thought were a good idea. I just clipped a couple of them onto my bag. Got my tent set up, threw everything inside, did a few bits of wandering stuff outside, came back, and of course my bag was on top of one of the bottles that had the only bit of fresh water in I had, which leaked, of course. Now I'd planned to go and get some water, so I walked down to the little stream there. It was very difficult to get water from. It was fast flowing in the middle, but I couldn't get to the middle, so I couldn't get the platypus inflated properly with the water. There may be a technique to it, but I don't know it. I filtered the bit of water I collected into my kettle, ready to do my meals. Did some sorting out in my tent. I managed to, at some point, knock the kettle over. Didn't notice. Luckily, it was outside of my bathtub at the bottom. But the precious bit of water I got had gone. I was okay. It was early enough in the night for me to head across the field. I can see where the car is from here. And I knew that just down from the car, there was a very fast flowing good water source. So I've filled up the platypus and then wandered back. And it was quite nice coming back with my head torch on in the dark. So I've got a platypus full of water, which will do me. Just been doing a bit of social media stuff. Got a video going live tonight in 20 minutes. Now, I wanted to edit my Instagram bio to have the video that's going live in it, but I don't think I'm going to have a good enough signal to do that. It's a little bit hit and miss is the signal. It's okay. I'm getting text and things through slowly, but nothing fantastic. I've just put my stove on. However, when I just had a quick look, yep, it's practically gone out. So that's more fuel. So first things first, make sure it's definitely out. Just while I'm making sure that's out, beer review 2. This is the Pilot lactose free. I don't know where they get these vegan, vegetarian, lactose free jobs from, but lactose free mochaccino stout unfined beer, and it's only a 5.5%. Gosh. A luxurious no milk stout infused with both raw and roasted cocoa nibs, vanilla, and a locally roasted coffee blend from our pals at the Edinburgh Tea and Coffee Company. At Pilot, we use fresh ideas and techniques, but keep drinkability at the heart of everything we do, putting flavour firmly ahead of appearance. We don't use finings or filtration in any of our beers. This means they might be hazy and have a wee bit of yeast sediment, but that's no bad thing. The difference is taste is clear. I like that. Yeah, and because they're not using finings, which is usually fish scales, it's suitable for vegans. So let's give this one a go. I got this from the same wonderful shop in Hebden Bridge. It wasn't not nearly as expensive. But it's only 5.5% and it's a UK based beer, so that's nice. It's fizzy a little, not too bad. I don't get the cocoa nibs too much, but I'm not too bothered about that. I don't like tonka beans and cocoa nibs and all that rubbish stuff. Do you get the coffee flavour? That's a nice stout. It's quite creamy for a no milk stout. I like that. Cheers. And while I'm on this one, last camp when we did the Carl Wark one, my mate Benny was out with us. He's definitely bitten by the bug, and he's certainly a wild camper now. He's going to be coming again. He's fallen ill. I'm not going into his personal details about what's happened, but he's had a bit of a setback health-wise. I think he's seen the way forwards from where he is now, and he's going to be okay. But it's quite a big thing, and it's a life-changing thing that's happened. So good luck, Benny. Can't wait to get you back out here with us. And you know, I think the message is for everybody, is seize every second, because you just don't know what's round the corner. Cheers, Benny. And good morning. Well, funny night's sleep really. Warm. The wasn't too windy. That blooming dripping on the back of the tent drove me mad. But I got off to sleep, slept pretty soundly. Woke about, I think it was just after midnight. And just cracked the canopy open to have a look if there was a star field or anything, which there wasn't. It was completely clouded over. And I could see down at the car, there were 2 other cars. And they had the headlights on, and I could see they were walking in front of the headlights. And they were around my car, very close to it in fact. They were parked, not directly next to it, but very close. I was quite worried. So I put my head torch on and yomped down the field, and when they saw my head torch, they immediately got in the cars and went. There were 4, looked like 4 lads. They shot off in the opposite direction from me, which I don't know. I was pretty worried about it. So I sat in the car for an hour and a half, 2 hours, debating what to do. And then 2 o'clock-ish in the morning, I thought, right, I'll set back off to the tent, and came back over. Couldn't really sleep. Couldn't concentrate properly, or couldn't relax, I think is the word I should use. And then I fell asleep this morning when sort of first sunrise. Woken by the rain, very heavy rain, and I've got out the tent and it is very cold. There is sleet in the air. You can see some of the rain that's falling on the rocks is actually sort of melted snow. So the real feel is dropping rapidly. I think the prediction was to get down to like -10 by midday, and it's going to go below freezing by midday. So my plan is I'm just going to got all my wet gear on, my waterproofs, and I'm going to get the tent collapsed, packed up, and get off. I'm not cooking any breakfast or anything. Just have a quick look around the tent. So you can see the drips coming down, and the back of the tent is in a puddle. Luckily the bathtub is waterproof, so it's not going inside. It's that drip 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 on the top that's driven me crazy, but there you go. Thank you, Cowper Stone. That's pretty much the puddle I was camped in, but there's an out there. Back to the car. See you next time.